U.S. ambassador, Beijing targets American firm is politically motivated and U.S. will push back. UK says it has investigated 4 alleged Chinese police stations. Bible school in China studies CCP's 20th Congress and honors traitors to the church. China's security crackdown overshadows CEO's visits, Beijing lawyer.
U.S. Ambassador to China Nicholas Burns said the recent campaign targeting American firms from the Chinese regime is politically motivated and unfair, and the U.S. will push back on those moves. According to Reuters, Burns said the Chinese regime has targeted 5 U.S. companies recently, including chipmaker Micron, auditing firm Deloitte, and consultancy companies Bain, Capvision, and Mintz Group. Speaking via video link from Beijing to a Washington-based Global Leadership Coalition forum on June 7th, Burns noted that while such incidents may not occur with companies from other countries, they are indeed happening to U.S. firms. He said, "It's not happening to companies of other countries, but it is to ours." According to Burns, the situation appears politically motivated and retaliatory from the Chinese perspective, which he deems unjust. He asserts that the U.S. will challenge and push back against these actions. Burns said, "It looks political in nature. It looks like payback from the Chinese perspective, and it's wrong. And obviously, we are going to resist this, and we are going to push back." As the Chinese regime blamed Washington for putting hundreds of Chinese firms under sanctions or on export ban lists, including advanced semiconductors, Burns said that this measure aims to prevent China's military from gaining an advantage. He said, "While we compete, it's important that we manage that competition so that it has limits and barriers, and it is always a peaceful competition." Last week, Michael McCaul, chairman of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, and Mike Gallagher, chairman of the Select Committee on the Chinese Communist Party, or CCP, asked Commerce Secretary Dina Raimondo for more decisive action against the CCP's move, rather than export control actions. In a letter sent to Raimondo on June 1st, Bloomberg News reported that McCall and Gallagher said, "Failure to impose a cost upon the People's Republic of China for its malign behavior will only invite further such conduct." Earlier, Raimondo warned the CCP that the U.S. won't tolerate Beijing's coercion on Micron. She said the CCP regime lacked any basis for banning the company, and that the US strongly opposes the measure. Britain has searched 4 sites suspected of being clandestine Chinese police outposts. In a written statement to Parliament on June 6th, Security Minister Tom Tugendhat said although they have not found much evidence of illegal Chinese police activities at the sites, their visit should play a deterrent role. He said, "We assess that police and public scrutiny have had a suppressive impact on any administrative functions these sites may have had. It is known that the Chinese police station in Lower Manhattan silently ceased its operations when it became aware of an FBI probe into it. It's unclear if a similar scenario is also playing out in the UK. While Britain still needs to collect proof about the centers, Tugendhat said their existence is unacceptable." He wrote, "However, these police service stations were established without our permission, and their presence, regardless of whatever low-level administrative activity they were performing, will have worried and intimidated those who have left China and sought safety and freedom here in the UK." Human rights group Safeguard Defenders first shed light on the stations last year, claiming that their primary functions was to trace and harass dissent overseas under a harmless cover of a service provider. He said the Chinese embassy has been contacted and responded that all such police service stations have closed permanently. Tugendhat added that any additional accusations would be promptly examined under UK law. The Britain's security minister previously said they were looking at police stations in 3 UK locations, 2 in London, in Hendon and Croydon, and 1 in Glasgow. Shanxi Bible School on May 31st held a political learning session titled Singing the Main Theme and Praising the New Era. The purpose of this session was to study keynote speeches and conclusions of the CCP's 20th National Congress, held late last year. According to Bitter Winter, Shanxi Bible School is at the forefront of sinicization, i.e., accepting to adjust its program to meet the requirements of the CCP. and is doomed to be a puppet of the atheist force ruling China. In the study session, after watching videos of the 20th Congress, the Shanxi Bible School's followers sang CCP songs. Among them is the song Sing a Folk Song for the Party, expressing love for the CCP. Shanxi Bible School also asked its students to honor 3 people whom the CCP propaganda system called revolutionary heroes. Remarkably, these people all supported Chairman Mao and betrayed Christianity to become crazy fans of the CCP. The first was composer Ma Ke, who wrote the song Nan Ni Wan, praising the CCP, which was sung by the students at the end of the study session. Ma was named by his parents with a sound similar to Mark in honor of Saint Mark, but as an adult, Ma became a communist, worshipping atheism and writing propaganda songs for the CCP. The second is medical doctor Luo Jinwen. Luo was honored as a martyr by the CCP for dying while on duty serving the organization. The third is Bishop Shen Zigao, a prominent figure in China's Anglican Church. Shen betrayed the Christians to join the church founded by the CCP. Shen's son followed in his father's footsteps to become a CCP servant. Bitterwinter argues that the CCP causes students at schools like Shanxi Bible School to follow the models, be Christian but join the CCP, either abandoning their religion altogether or turning their church into a tool of service for the atheist organization. Despite recent visits by CEOs from American corporations and their assurances, the landscape is, all the same, fear. A Beijing-based business lawyer, James Zimmerman, told CBS News that for foreign businesses operating in China, everything's a threat, you know? He added, "Unfortunately, in that kind of environment, it's very difficult to operate, when everything is viewed as a national security matter, and it looks as if anything you do could be considered to be spying." The recent crackdown on due diligence firms and arrests has significantly affected business confidence in China. Amid such a sensitive period, CEOs from major American corporations visited Beijing, including Apple's Tim Cook, JP Morgan Chase's Jamie Dimon, Intel's Patrick Gelsinger, and more recently, Tesla's Elon Musk. Their arrivals were mostly silent. As they met Chinese officials, they would praise the Chinese economy and speak against the idea of decoupling the market. But for smaller businesses, Zimmerman said they are seeing increased political risks. He said, "A lot of folks are starting to, rewrite their strategic plans just because of the tension." According to Reuters, China's foreign ministry said the visits from American CEOs are a vote of confidence to the Chinese economy. However, Min-Xin Pei, professor of government at Claremont McKenna College, argued that the billionaires are acting over concerns about current investments and future deals. In an op-ed to Bloomberg on June 7th, he wrote, "Recent investigations, sanctions, and boycotts directed at foreign companies have clearly demonstrated how many tools the Chinese government has to punish troublesome firms, and how willing it is to use them." An anonymous head of a U.S. trade association disclosed with Reuters that the American business leaders have been asking for guidance on how Beijing's broadening of its counter-espionage law could impact their trips to China. The association head said the CEOs also wanted to learn how to handle Chinese officials and questions when their trip becomes known. They tried to avoid talking to the media and risk being asked to give their opinions on the positions of Washington and Beijing. Bloomberg columnist Pei said the CEOs should have used their time in Beijing to be candid about how China's hardline stance toward the West is making it increasingly difficult for Western companies to maintain their commercial ties with the mainland. He said, "As Chinese leaders are badly in need of a reality check, Western CEOs will be doing China and themselves a huge favor by delivering an honest and stark message.